So we print money out of it, this gold reserve that is called
I see.
golden Zion currency.
I see. So the golden Zion currency, and it's printed by the Central Bank of the Philippines.
No, it's not. It is printed by us.
Ah, yes. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
In fact, when this golden Zion was printed, there were several legal questions, and in fact, they filed a case against us, and yet it was dismissed, considering that this is not the currency that is within the jurisdiction of Philippine government. This is
I see.
outside of the jurisdiction because we are independent.
I see. You're
Print our
completely
money.
independent. Right. I see. So it's like it's big, but it's being used in in your nation. It's being used in your nation, that currency.
As of now, we have several tribal markets scattered around the archipelago.
I
And
see.
in fact, these tribal markets, the one requisite is that golden Zion only will be admitted or will be received as currency. We have to exchange if ever we have some currency like dollars, pesos, they have to make it in the money exchanger. And then after exchanging to Golden Zion, then they can proceed in shopping in our tribal market.
That's great. I see. I see. I see. Well, it's a very interesting because you need some development, right, for the region. You need some
Yes.
Japanese industrial heavy material, right?
Actually, we are one of our projects is the development of our nation, primarily this infrastructure like buildings, bridges. This is an enormous development in which we have the capacity to develop. Only we need some other nations to have an exchange, especially in using this currency in buying goods like, for example, heavy equipment, materials to be used in the construction. So if ever there is an exchange for that effect, our golden Zion will be bought, and then the other nation will have a treaty with us. They will accept our currency. Then that will be a very big development that will happen here, and it will there will be an economic boom because it will enhance employment.
Right, right. It will enhance employment, of course, of course, of course. And wow, this is a new this is something new. This is something that could really change change the world.
Yes, actually, our mission is global in nature,
Right,
considering the bulk of resources. Uh, we have the capacity
right.
to deliver these services. No other nation in this planet Earth can do what we can.
Wow. That is the amazing. So the wealth is based on the gold. The
Yes,
wealth is
like the wealth is based on the gold. Primarily, first, we have the biggest gold deposit as a raw material, only in our ancestral domain.
I see. I see.
Maybe you have heard those Axis assets during the World War II.
I see. I see.
The Germany, Japan, and Italy, they were able to bring back the bulk of gold scattered all over the world through the war. They have taken it, recovered it, and amazingly, they buried underneath the mountain vault of our nation, scattered throughout. Maybe you have heard the Marcos gold, the Yamashita gold. In fact, there was already a case to that effect, like the case of during the war, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo versus Kofi Annan, the former UN, and Antonio Santiago Martin, and the deposit that was contention between the allied nations, what we call the loot, according to them, this asset was claimed under case number UN 1426. The dispositive portion dated January 25, 2005, 2006, it says that this asset claimed by allied nations are the property of the people of the Philippine Islands, representing by ASM, Antonio Santiago Martin. Philippine Islands here was before known as Marlican Island.
Ah, yeah, the Marharlika Island. Yeah, right. Right. Right.
So that
Right.
is one of the decision in the United Nations that
I see.
we are banking for, that
I see.
this wealth that belongs to us as a nation.
Right. 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 Wow. It's really an amazing wealth.
Yes, it is known already in the social media all over the world.
Right. Right.
In fact, is Maharlika nation, according to the Bible, this is originally the Garden of Eden.
Wow.
Because in the Bible, there are 4 rivers, and one of that is Pison River. And in Pison River, there are 3 minerals, that is gold, bdellium, and onyx. And these materials are found here because Pison River, when it was flooded, it becomes the Pacific Ocean. So we are facing the Pacific Ocean.
Wow. It's wow, it's amazing. You have there's a providential history here. Something very providential, right?
Yeah. No other location in the world that can pinpoint the technical description regarding Garden of Eden.
Wow, yes, yes, right. It's impossible to find usually. But that could be the place then, the original place.
This is the original place. And during the flood, when Noah was preparing an ark, his family, the only passenger of the boat, was drifted in Turkey.
Oh,
They landed in Mount Ararat, yeah, from
right.
here to Turkey.
To
Yeah. But after that, during the civilization, one of his children in the family of Shem and Joktan come back in this place. So that this is the family of Ophir,
Right.
family of Abila. Yes.
Right, 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 right. I
It's
see.
where we grow our heritage.
Right, right. It's a very interesting history and very interesting. It's very interesting case, and the tribal nation is kind of a new hope.
Yes, actually, we are also connecting now with the National Congress of American Indians.
Right,
Uh,
the national Congress. So you connect the tribal nations together.
the tribal nations in the world. In fact, Canada, we have met already with the great grandchild of an Indian uh, sitting bull. I think you heard
Right, Sitting Bull, of
from.
course. I know
Yeah,
Sitting Bull.
I
Yes.
mean it's here. Yeah, sitting bull. And according to them, they are planning to have a global summit for all indigenous people so
Hmm.
that we can hold hands together to recover our ancestral domains.
Wow, that is very interesting.
Yes, this is,
'Cause
according to him,
mhm.
the United States is under contract,
Right, right,
yes, contract to the Indians. In fact, Pawn Sharp, the president of the National Congress of American Indians, said that they have treaty with the United States. The United States are given the privilege to use millions of square miles of ancestral domains, yet they have few funds in return. They are not faithful enough to comply with the treaty.
right,
So
right,
that's why they are in trouble, in problem.
right,
So
right,
we are willing to have, we will offer rescue to them because we have also the International Tribal Court in which it has an international jurisdiction,
hmm.
an affiliate court of all cases involving indigenous people around the world.
Wow, very powerful, very powerful, very, very powerful.
In fact, recently we have concluded a decision against the third division of the Supreme Court of the Philippines because they denied our rights.
I see, I see, I see, I
Yes,
see.
we're thinking that the Supreme Court is the court of last resort, but they are wrong.
Right,
Court of last resort for an indigenous people is the court that has international jurisdiction.
right, 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 right,
But international customary law is an international law,
right,
which means a law of coordination,
right,
while a
right,
national law is a law of subordination.
right.
And because of our independence, we are not under the Philippine government.
I see, I see, I see. Wow, wow. That is completely sovereign.
Yes, sovereign. We have a sovereign relationship with our nation.
Right.
All tribes, 110 tribes scattered around the archipelago, has a relationship with Maharlika Nation, an independent sovereign nation.
Right, right. Wow, this is a very, very, very interesting, and it's kind of new
Uh,
to me. It's kind of I know the Philippines, but I didn't know about the Malahi tribe. Mahal Marharlika
Are
tribe. I didn't know.
actually, this is a struggle for more than 700 years.
Right, it's written in the history. I can see that when I read about it. It's a very old tribe. Right.
So thank God that at last the United Nations comes in. 1990, we have the decade of the indigenous people around the world, and the law was promulgated in 1997, Republic Act 8371, which gives the rights of indigenous people here in the Philippines. And it
Mm,
provides that the state will recognize the independent role of indigenous people. So that's why we are able to surface and to stand and to develop.
right,
Uh,
right, right. Um, yeah, this is very interesting. Um, there's about what 25,000 people, right, in your tribe
yes,
in the Philippines.
uh, because actually
It's bigger than Palau.
the this tribe before the colonization, they are existing already.
Right.
So advent of Magellan did not bring persons here. They are using the natives, and they change the name. They make it Filipinos instead of Maharlikan.
Ah, Mahalika. Yeah,
Uh,
I see. I see. Yes,
they
yes.
are just using our people, and they change the name.
They changed the name. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's
So when you see a Filipino, actually he is a native.
he's a native
He is
originally. Yes.
He is a member of the indigenous people. Like for example, the population of Philippine government is 110 million. That is to say that that is likewise the population of Marlican nation because their ancestors belong to us.
Right. That's right.
Uh,
That makes
Philippine government is a corporate
right.
uh,
It's a corporate body.
corporate body, meaning it is legal fiction under the law.
Hmm.
It is an artificial person.
Hmm.
So we will distinguish state and nation. State is an artificial person without any natural person. But the nation comes from the word Nazi, meaning to be born.
I
There
see.
is a father, there is an sister to that effect. So we belong to a nation in which the ancestors of the Filipino people in the state of the Philippines, meaning we are the owner of the Filipinos,
I
actually.
see. Right. Right. Actually, in words, you are indeed. You are indeed.
Eh,
Wow. It's fantastic. It's very interesting. I am also the Marine Foundation is tied up with a what we call the First Development World Bank underneath
uh,
the Royal Bank of Canada. And the Royal Bank of Canada is famous for supporting Native people in Canada. But the First Development World Bank is born on sovereign Indian land in Canada.
so that is
That is a
us,
good point, right?
that has a very good connection to us in
Right.
which we have
Exactly.
same
Exactly. I was thinking, I talked to Mr. Chairman, Mr. Brian Mason, the other day, about the Marharlika nation, and he was tremendously interested. And I'm thinking that, in my understanding, the fact is to have the currency of that sovereign nation being accepted elsewhere, right?
Because, right. Because as the way we look at it, if our currency will be accepted even in only one nation, then this will be circulated already around the world
Around the world, right?
because we can make an exchange of their money to other money.
Right,
So meaning from the start, it can ripple or it can exchange hands throughout anywhere in the world.
right. We
Yeah, that is
it would be very interesting to also have a meeting with Mr. Brian Mason, who is the chairman of the DWB Bank, the DWB Bank structure. And
that,
also we are very tied with also with Russia. We have a very good link with Russia. Um, and you know, Russia is really wants to expand into other nation, right?
yeah,
And it has a little bit the compromises of the United States right now because it's difficult with the embargo. But this is a huge potential nation who wants to expand, who wants to make friends with other nations, right?
that's, it's,
And
in, in fact, one of our tribal chieftain has connected with Russia, and according to him, Russia is eager in buying gold because they have
that's it.
scarcity. Yeah.
That's it.
So actually, the golden Zion currency, because it is backed up with gold, so it can be a reserve when there will be an exchange. The fiat money will revive because the gold value in it, then the fiat money will turn also into gold backup because of the exchange and reserve by
Right.
the golden side.
I see. Wow, this is very interesting. Plus, um, he's right now he's talking directly to the central bank of Russia. So
Yes,
it has a lot of potential because you know connecting with the DWB in Canada who represent all that wants to represent all the sovereign nation of the world. That's the theme of the representation is economic development.
yes,
Economic development through the Marine Foundation's platform.
yes,
We're going to Africa, we're going to a little bit everywhere and presenting economic development projects, which are, you know, education, medical, technology, infrastructure, and tourism, you see? So that would be, I think, a great encounter, you know, to meet the chairman of the DWB. And
yes.
together, we have to find a solution, basically,
Right.
right?
Actually, we were offering already more than a year now, but maybe we did not met the right contact or the right person. We are always saying that so that this economy will revive, it is wrong to print more fiat money. It will just worsen the situation.
I see.
But if we will go back to gold standard, currency that are backed up by gold, then we can improve everything
Right,
like what you have already.
right, right. Exactly. And the Maharlika nation is backed up by the gold, right? So is the gold that you possess in your sovereign nation, or is the gold of the Philippines? How does it work?
Actually, the Philippines has no gold at all
I
because
see.
it is only deposited in the central bank, but it is not owned by the central bank.
I
No
see.
records what. Even the president that are sitting, they are only managing and they are only after the people, the constituents. But when it comes to gold, when it comes to land and all the natural resources, it belongs to the nation, the Marlican
Right,
nation.
right.
And in fact, the heirs and the successors are still living until today.
I see. I see. And uh, this gold is touchable, right? You can see it, you can touch it, you can
Yes, it is physical gold. It
right,
can be seen through a
touch it.
detector. Yeah.
Right, right, right. And it's
There
stored,
are so many,
it is
there
stored.
are so many foreigners come already in our country, so many gold hunters.
Mhm.
They have seen it. But problem is they cannot take it
Right, right,
because the moment will take it, it becomes coal. You know, coal charcoal.
right.
It turns into charcoal
Yes, yes.
because this is a mysterious gold. This is a heritage gold, which is divinely protected. It
I
cannot
see.
be taken.
I see. Sovereign gold. Yes, like the American Indian too before, right? They had their own secret, sacred land, sacred reserve. Wow. And so you see, and for example, buying uh, Japanese heavy industry equipment, right? Would want to use that money to buy material from Japan,
Yes, exactly. That is what is our need for today.
right? So that would be. Uh, have you already dealt with Japanese banking environment yet?
Actually, we are attempting so many attempts already, but until today we have not closed a deal. We
I
are still open and we are praying very hard.
right.
Maybe it's you already that will connect us.
I see, and you would need to, but probably you've already tried to talk with the Japanese people about that.
Yeah, but not so definite.
Right.
There are only until today there were no responses or whatever. There
Right,
is
right.
no close.
Well, I guess it's that would be yes of the point of the money maybe because they would have to the money to be recognized as a currency that is used. They would have to recognize that. Is that maybe it's the main the Japanese yen receiving money here, the Marharlika station nation's money, and buying goods from Japan, maybe they would worry, how do we use that money in Japan, right?
Uh, the another alternative is that that money they can use that if they will also buy materials from us. Example, they will buy cassava or
Okay.
copra
Okay.
that or fish. Oh, so they can use that in exchange.
I see. I see.
Uh, like for example, we have the biggest resources of fish. It is within our ancestral seas.
I
What we need only are fishing boats and cannery. So if we can produce canned fish, then if
sell,
they have
sell it. Yes.
buy that, oh,
So the Japanese would buy your will sell you product, get your money, and then in exchange buy your product with the
yes, that's it.
Maharlika money. I see. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, that could be a very interesting thing, because defining the markets that you have, the goods that you have. You say you have maritime, right? Fishing.
Time we have mines. Actually, Japanese ships are in front of us. 10 ships per day. They are hauling our lands, our resources.
Really?
So
Your
yeah,
resources.
yes, they are operating minefields here. They are owners of
I
so
see.
many.
Are they? I see. I see. So they are Japanese entity, Japanese owners of this field.
Yes,
Mm.
transacting business with our ancestral domain. Like for example, banana plantation, pineapple plantation. Those are the buyers are Japanese.
I see. I see. I see. I see. That's very interesting. That is a good that is a good thought here. Like trading. It could be done with other
They
nations.
will, if they will also tour in Maharlika Nation, they have to pay in Golden Zion. So they have already the pocket money.
Right. So that your nation with all these resources could provide for for example, somebody like Russia.
Yes, Russia, we can exchange with them
We can
because this
exchange.
is an open country in
Mhm.
that it is our right to make a treaty with them
Right.
without intervention of other countries.
Wow, this is could be very interesting. This has to be really taking it to the top level here.
Yes,
This has to be brought to Mr. Putin.
yes, it
Yes.
will be agenda. And in fact, this is an immediate agenda because
Right.
the economy now is collapsing. Too many are affected, unemployed. They died every second of the day. So we have to rescue them. We have the resources. What more? The problem of economy is this money.
Right. Right. That's it. That's it.
Right now, the U.S. has only 8 million tons of metric tons of gold in their central bank.
I
So that
see.
is equivalent only to 10 billion US dollars in gold standard.
I
But
see.
what they have done, President Biden printed 1.9 trillion of stimulus fund, which is not gold backup. See, So
Right,
that is not remedy. It worsens inflation. That is hyperinflation, actually.
right, right. That will do that. That will do that for sure. Mm,
We
that will
have
do
to
that.
come in rescue.
Right, right. Wow, this is very, 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 very interesting. Very, very interesting. I am very, I want to try to bring, um, I want to try to bring to light this
Yes,
convention. Bring an official meeting with the highest leaders because
yes.
this is for trade, for economy, right?
Actually, we are a solution to the present problem today.
Right. Um, it would be it would be a great thing because in terms of what is happening now, going towards development, your for example sovereign nation is also in in convention with the South Africa, right?
Yes, South Africa,
Right,
Khoisan, Sulu.
right, the Zulu. So they're willing to trade already.
Yeah, actually, King Bibor is in the embassy so that our treaty will be validated. And after that, he will send the copy. And after arriving the copy, we will send him already the funds needed because we funded their housing, infrastructure, agricultural, just what you are doing. We are in humanitarian project.
Right,
And
right,
according to King Bibor, he will disseminate this throughout the world as soon as this will be materialized and being in operation.
right. So which means that other African nation would be happy
Yes,
to be also trading with you. For example, in Africa now, the CFA, which is a money that is in many of the Western African nation, this money is French money. It's printed in France, but but they don't want to be under the French treasury
yes,
domination anymore,
yes,
right?
yes,
So maybe they would rely on an independent nation that is also a tribe, because Africa is a
yes.
tribal continent.
It's very troubled. Uh, actually, they are in dire need because they are being oppressed in their own land.
Right, right.
Because, yeah,
So that would be a good thing to present. That it's something to really look into and to really probably, because, for example, your money, you print it by yourself, right? So you have your press where in the island,
in the island,
right? Your own press,
we
right?
have our own press.
Okay, okay. Which means, I see, I see. Which means it's, you know, the way I see it, the way I see it, I imagine, you know, all the tribal nation of the world wants to get together,
Yes,
right? They want to be communicating together and trade together. And the biggest tribal area is Africa, because
yes, the biggest
Africa is a tribal continent
tribal continent.
and they have
In
some
fact,
money.
Prince Bibor, before, because his father died already, he becomes the successor. So, according to him, the Africans comes from Asia.
Ah,
So they migrate. yes, the oldest tribe, the Khoisan tribe, they are Asians actually.
Right.
That's why every country like Rwanda, Nigeria, they have their tribes scattered all over Africa. The oldest tribe.
Right. Right. Wow, that would be very interesting to contemplate, to make that happen. There's a huge potential because the fact is, the matter is the Maharlika nation's currency is backed up by gold.
Definitely.
That's the
And that
point,
is
right? That's the point, that the money never differentiates because of its backup, right?
is a standard because long before the Spanish came, we have what we call doblon, the coin, golden coin,
Right.
and then
Golden game.
depending upon the weight, if it
Right.
is smaller, can buy chicken or goat, but if it is bigger, it can buy cattle, cows, or
Right.
carabaos, horses. So we have practiced that since time immemorial. That's why, as the time goes by, we convert it into paper bill. Uh,
Right.
but the gold backup is still there. That's why we can guarantee this currency that it is backed up by sovereign guarantee and the heritage gold, considering that the Garden of Eden is our place, that is a cradle of humanity, and all people in the world are related to us.
Right. Right. No, but this is good.
Uh,
You see, I I like that because this is it's hopeful.
hopeful.
It's
Yeah,
hopeful for humanity. Um, there's so many problem, economic development problem, and money in many nations is very weak. You know, like Africa's got money, but it's so weak. It's like almost has no value.
that's right.
And if there was a consortium of, as you say, you have a court, the international court of the all indigenous people in the world, if there was a consortium of that, we could make it so that your money could be an international money to all native sovereign nations of the world, including Africa, because Africa is kind of it, it doesn't have, but most countries don't have their own money.
That's right. That's
That's what
right.
I think on the top of my head. You know, I'm trying to visualize the and also what I would like to try is to find an immediate solution, you know, because time is of the essence, right? So we need to strategize for an immediate solution,
Right.
right? And you know, I'm thinking that in the immediate time, first of all, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Chairman of the DWB, Mr. Brian S. Messon, who is in
Yes,
love.
please.
He's in love with the Indian nation. He's all for the native. That's what he lives for. His mother was a
Yes.
native. And
So,
you see, with the money that is coming in now with DWB, with project development and everything else, I think we can make a tie. we can create a link, and and you know, like you said, there could be like the consortium of all the tribes of the world coming together.
Uh, you will be instrumental for that, and you can figure it out the
Right.
way you.
Yeah. That's what I'm, you know, that's how I see it. And it will be something phenomenal
Yes,
because it will bring back the world to its roots.
yes, yes.
It will bring back society to its roots, a native root of where we come from.
That will be a revival of culture, revival of
Revival of
humanity. That will
culture,
give
humanity,
dignity.
right?
That
And for example, how do you establish, for example, just somebody say, oh, the Maharlika nation has gold. How do they become certified of that? How do they
they
know?
come, they come over
Okay,
because we will bring them to the place, and then
that's
of
it.
course the uh, detectors, because these are hidden.
I see. So it's kind of they
Uh,
can come, but they can come to see the place without knowing. I mean, in the
yes,
secrecy of the, of course, the environment and la la la, with all the protocol.
first of all, yeah,
Yes,
we
yes,
have to undergo.
yes, you have the protocols, but they would be able to, for example, Mr. Brian Mason, who is also part indigenous person, could come and visit you and
Yes,
and and see you and see your environment and understand, you
they
know.
are very much welcome. They are welcome.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I think the first step will be to have a meeting together on location,
Yeah.
on location
Location.
together. I've always wanted to go to your nation, to the Philippines. I mean, the old name Philippines, but I will say now, always wanted to go to the Maharlika nation there because I love the
Native.
Philippines. I love the people of the Philippines.
Yeah. People of the Philippines are very hospitable. The
They are the
characters
most
of that
hospitable
from
people in
our
the world.
forefathers. Actually, the Filipinos before, they are called native Indians, actually,
I see.
because uh, much of the portion comes from India. That's why the Indians in the US are related to us.
I see.
We have the same culture with the Indians. Uh,
That is fantastic. You know,
like
I mean, mhm.
in the Canada, those Indians in Canada come from here. Actually,
Wow. Wow.
he went across the borders in Russia and Alaska, going to Canada, but they came from India, and the Indians also come to the Philippines. So that is the migration, actually.
Wow.
They go back to where they belong, because this is the place before the flood. This is the place, actually. That's why this is called the heritage gold since creation, since time immemorial. And until today, it is here. It is right here in us.
I see.
Yeah.
That is very interesting and so fascinating. It's very fascinating. And you are the lawyer of the group of the
Yes,
king.
Attorney Vicente Gonzalez
Ah,
Jr.
okay. Okay. Mr. Gonzalez. Right. And you are wearing a beautiful hat.
This is a symbol of tribal uh, leadership or chieftain.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Chieftain. Yes, yes.
We
I,
have a golden hat symbolize the golden Zion.
the Golden Zion. That's right. That's right. That's fantastic. Very fascinated myself. My mother is Caribbean. My mother is black. Mm. And
Uh,
my father is was Polish, Nordic. So
Nordic.
I am very mixed. I'm a mixed blood. Very much so because of my, and I will show it to you. Uh, mm, because of my, whoops, because of my environment, my family environment. So that's why I love Africa. That's why I develop Africa because of my ancestors. Uh,
uh, that's why you can relate in any race to that
right,
effect. Because of
right.
that.
In that
Like,
effect, I can relate any race, and I was trying to find my mother's photo. Ah, this is my mother,
is that so?
right?
Oh, black.
Yes, this is my mother, my dear mother. She's a fantastic lady,
Uh,
and
actually, my great grandfather is also a Spanish.
I see, I see,
Relate also with European.
right, right.
My great grandmother is an indigenous.
I
People.
see, I see.
That's why in our family we are mixed. There are white and there are colored
Right,
brown.
right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. It's I, for me, first of all, I am very, very pleased to meet you. And
Uh,
my next move will be, first of all, to discuss that with the chairman of DWB, which is a
yes,
growing financial organization. Because since he's a financial organization, there can be a tie created. And since the Marine Foundation is going to develop in every single countries of the world, that's our strategy as a development, economic development, bringing technology, Japanese technology, transfers of technologies, to other countries. Maybe we should consider a certain future together. I think so. Um, I am, you know, I'm, I am very excited about that,
yes,
and
we are.
I like the history. I like the history that relates to the Garden of Eden,
Uh,
because I studied theology. I did spend a lot of time religious uh, studying and research.
is that so? So you are familiar with those.
Yes, I'm very familiar. That's why I created, in order to not, in order to be in peace with the world. I created a kind of a philosophy that would allow us to be everywhere. And I decided that at the base, we come from the mother, which is the water. So that's why the name Marine Foundation, Marine Water Foundation Base. But where we all come from, and on that base, we declare the absolute standard for absolute respect for life and environment. That is the Marine Foundation. So Imiwa, the meaning is that I have to respect everybody. I have to respect every religion. The more I respect people, the more I attract people. Just like the Olympics. The Olympics is based on the respect on the rules of sport. That's why everybody goes to the Olympics. You see? So that same context, but on the development level. So that's why, you know, we have a strong PR, public relation appeal to communicate with the entire world. And that's why the cause of native should be here. Because at the end of the day, man has invaded other nations. Man has traveled like caravan, but nations have been invaded. But the native have been invaded, which means that the cultural background of the entire world is based on nativity, indigenous people, right? So based on that, we must come back to that root and give back the power to the motherland.
That's it.
Motherland, which means where the natives are, this is the motherland. So my definition, if we don't love the mother, we cannot get blessed by the mother.
Yes, of course.
Right?
That's right.
So it's not serving the mother, because serving the mother has no meaning. If I don't respect the mother first, how can I get blessed? How can I help her? So the point is coming back to the source, the celebration of life, which means the celebration of native people, where we all come from. So that's, in a nutshell, this is kind of the Marine Foundation's philosophy.
Because actually our nation is a maritime nation. We are 7,000 islands.
7,000 islands. So, Mr. Gonzalez, I think I should register Marine Foundation on your native land.
Oh, please. Thank you. If that is so, you are very much welcome.
That would be...
We are a maritime country ever since. Yes. We have the basic livelihood is fishermen. We have millions of fishermen out there. And we have the very big resources in fishing, yellowfin. Almost everybody is visiting our fishing ground.
Wow.
They are taking millions of tons of fish every day.
Wow, wow. So I have to go there. I have to register the Marine Foundation and bring with me technology, bring new fishing boats, Bring
Fishing boats.
fishing boats, beautiful sports fishing, tourism fishing, and a little bit bigger fishing, but stay giving that economy the right to
Uh,
move. So instead of making the boat in Japan, we can make the boat over there.
Here.
Assemble
Yes.
the boat.
Please.
Make, that's what I will do.
Yes.
I'm going to do this. I have a plan. Because if we assemble the boats in your country, the price is going to go down.
Yes.
And
That's what we are looking for.
right, and that's where we can be able to sell this boat to all the local people,
Yes.
and it create an economy
Yes.
based on that.
It will be payable by their fish cuts.
That's
Because
it. You catch the fish.
yes.
Exactly. So this is what I can do, and I will do. I will do that because this is something that I can do. And because it's Marine Foundation.
It's Marine Foundation.
It's Marine
It is
Foundation.
real. It must. It is. We have the correct matching of your objective and your product,
Right.
and we also our need in which we can be held in our economy. Yes.
Also, what we could do, Mr. Gonzalez, we could create a beautiful sea of dream environment. Let me tell you what it is. It's an event when you have people, children coming from all over the place, tourists, seminars, swimming with the dolphin, all the water related project. I will send you my presentation. What will I do? People will come there, they will have to pay. They have to trade the money to pay to enter with the Marharlika money. So they will
Marharlika
come.
money.
Yes, they will come. There will be money exchange booth. You want
Exchange because this will be a what we call the money exchange because we are creating a market
that's it.
so that people will buy through golden Zion currency in our market.
Exactly.
A captured market to the tourism. So people will flock in.
The people will flying, that's the base currency because they will trade their money right on place. They will have no choice if they want to enter the park. And that is something Marine Foundation can do.
Yeah.
I think,
Very great.
and we can also set up event organization, beautiful event. The the cup, the Marharlika race cup, the race, the sailboat, the cup.
One of the events that we will be going to do is the International Summit of Tribal People around the world.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, that's
The whole huge summit, all tribal people come from
all
around the
tribal
world,
people.
all of them. And they meet on a beautiful area. The sea, the sun, the warmth. It's beautiful. You see? That we can do that international summit. We can do, it can last, it can be a celebration of 14 days like the Olympics.
Yes, it will be a day of happiness, a day of jubilee, a day of reconciliation and reaffirmation with our roots under one God,
That's
the
it.
people of the earth.
Yes. Because you see, this is the point You see, no matter where we come from, we have
Yes.
no problem coming back to the source.
Yes.
Everybody wants to come back to the source. Doesn't matter what religion we have, what race, what nation, people want to come back. They don't feel opposed by the indigenous standard, the native. It's a peaceful world. People want to feel peace. So
Yes.
I can promise you, I can do the really big events. I really love that. You know,
Love that all.
I can bring there's another great country that you might want to consider as a friend, Mongolia.
Mongolia. They are
Mongolia
welcome.
doesn't have sea.
Yes.
They would be so
They are
happy to be
landlocked.
tied up and trading with the Maharlika nation to trade products.
Yes. Actually, in history, the Mongolian has traded us with us already. Long time ago. That
Right,
is since 1000 AD. They
right,
were here.
right. Because, Mongolia would be a great place because I think the Mongolian government would probably accept the currency
Yes. Yes.
because
They will accept
they will
because
accept.
some uh, they have some transactions, previous transaction with us already.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You see, you see, I am inspired and I have many ideas.
The idea.
Yes. I am the maker. I am make things happen.
Yes.
My name is Tomeo.
Smart. Oh, Tumio.
Tomeo is my name. It's my simple name. It means gives good fortune.
Oh, so you
Right.
are the man. You are the man that is instrumental.
Yes. Everything I decide, I make it happen.
Ah, is that so?
If
So
I
this
put,
will happen.
yes, everything I have decided until now never failed.
Very
It
good.
was, it was very difficult sometimes, very
Yes.
difficult, but never failed. It always happened because it is connected to the heavens.
Yes.
It
If
connects.
God is with us, nobody can be against us.
That's right.
So
That's why I only do God's business.
yes, same with us. Maharlika nation, it is ordained by God.
That's it.
God has nation to surface, and
That's
now they are expanding, and
right.
that reaches now even unto you. So God make you an instrument that this nation will be great again, because
Yes.
this is greatest nation before. So it is a revival
It's a
of our
revival.
culture.
It's a revival
Yes,
of all cultures. Of
yes,
everybody who loves their mother is the revival of the mother, of the motherland. And everywhere is the motherland. We all have a motherland, but the motherland has been lost. We lost our roots. We have to come back to our roots,
we
to the
have to come
beginning.
back. This
Yes,
back to basics. This is basically the long forgotten mother. So this will be a great homecoming. We go back
homecoming.
to home where we belong, to the
That's
womb of the maritime foundation.
we all come from the maritime, the water, the home, the land.
Water.
And you're so right. We will make an event. We will make the celebration of life, the homecoming celebration. For
Homecoming
all nations
celebration.
to come together, all the native nations, they will come from all over the world.
Uh, those who are life lovers, people who treasure life,
Right,
is the people who are with us.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's going to be fantastic because, you know, this is when I saw the first email, I was very surprised. And I went to study. I checked the many videos you have on YouTube. I don't understand Filipino, but I can get the points. I could get the points and I could understand that there is a tremendous potential, but we have to convince people. We have to
Yes.
convince the world. We have to show it. That is strategy.
We have to get the attention of the world to
Right.
inform them.
We have to come with a package when there's a potential trade between the Maharlika nations and this nation, whether it's fishery, whether it's agriculture or whatever product, we can get these leaders together and then talk about the currency.
Yes,
And
correct.
if you have three countries that accepts it,
Yes.
it's done.
Ah, it's done.
It's done
It's
because then
circulated.
it will be a movement of money coming in, and then more countries will have to accept it because you will take tourism into your
Yeah.
pocket. Tourism, you will attract tourism. Then people are coming from all over the world. The Philippine nation has no choice.
Yes.
They had to recognize the Maharlika nation as an official nation with its official money.
Yes, of course, because our tendency is that Philippines will not recognize us because they are thinking that we are one and we are downgraded. But if other nations, especially big nations, will recognize us, then they will follow
Of course,
because they have, yes, because they have the colonial mentality.
that's it.
Uh,
That's it. They will follow automatically. They have no choice.
yeah,
Oh,
automatically.
they have no choice.
Right. They have no
Otherwise, they're
choice.
gonna lose. They're gonna lose trade. They're gonna lose on everything.
Because they will be benefited also because
Right.
people will pass through them.
That's
So
it.
they have a share of the economy. That's why
That's
everybody happy.
that's it.
We have initiating economic activity market and everybody will actually be benefited.
Right.
Everybody who will join us, they
Right.
will get a share. Yeah,
And also, I
that's right.
think because of the money is backed up by gold, it will have power. It will gain
We have
power.
that. Yeah.
Ima, I wanted to ask you, Mr. Gonzalez. Ima, the money of the Philippines is the pesos.
Pesos, yeah.
But pesos,
Actually,
is it, go ahead.
our exchange rate with the pesos is one gold in Zion is 200 pesos.
Whoa,
We have bigger value
bigger value.
because of balance. They have only 99,000 metric tons of gold deposited in Banco Central, and they are only allowed to print 12 billion pesos. But what they did, they are printing 3 trillion stimulus fund. So,
I see. I see. So the gold that they have is separated from your gold.
yes,
Ah,
precisely.
I see. So that's why the separation is there. You do not depend on the
We do not.
pesos money.
We do not. That's
That,
why when you say that Philippines is poor, that is referring to them.
that's right.
But when you say
Referring-
Marharlika is poor, that is wrong because Marharlika is ever rich country due to gold backup. Because the measure of economy is gold standard.
That's right. That's right. And so one Maharlika, you call it a dollar? Maharlika dollar?
We are calling that Zion.
Zion.
Zion. One Zion.
One
Zion.
Zion is equal to how many dollars?
$4.
That's very good. That's very good. That's pretty high for a small nation. You understand? This
That
is
is according to gold standard. We
yeah,
have
that's
uh,
fantastic.
uh, one 1 ounce of gold is equivalent to $35.
Right.
That is
So if that's it, if I go to Maharlika, for example, tomorrow, and I have Japanese yen, I can exchange my
yes,
yen
you can
over there, and I can purchase my good with the Zion.
stay with Zion in our tribal market
Wow, fantastic.
because so we are trying to develop this that all products will be displayed in our market so that we are going back to a very low price. The standard in 1965 standard of prices, we put it lower so that uh, 25 centavos or gizo of one Zion can buy 1 kilo of rice. But in the Philippines, 50 pesos, 1 kilo of rice. Do you see the discrepancy?
Oh, like huge
Uh,
discrepancy.
they're bringing the lower price
Right,
since 95. So it gives value to the money.
right,
It has a buying power because it is standard. While today it is hyperinflated, that it is the value of the money is big, but the buying power is low. So that's why people is in economic constraints. They are in poverty. So in Maharlika, nobody is poor because
mhm,
we are equitably distributing the wealth because our wealth is
right.
more than enough to sustain man's needs in this planet.
I
Just
see.
like Mahatma Gandhi says, the world can supply man's need, but it cannot supply man's greed.
Ah, yes, yes, right, right. That's a good word. That's very good words. Right. I understand. Well, I really appreciate. I think I have asked you all the questions that I needed. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied. And I think we can do many things. We have to work on this.
This,
We have to make it happen. Excuse me. Turn off the. We have to make it happen. This is a mission.
this is our mission.
I like the idea. I like the concept. So I love the concepts. So I want to see this happen.
we are going with God's help. With
With
your
God's
help.
help, it's no problem because, you know, if you did not find me, it's, you know, I work with God. He's my boss.
Yeah, we have the same boss.
You have the same boss, right? It's very tough.
We are partners.
It's
Yeah.
very tough. It's hard work. It's hard work, but there's always a solution.
Yes,
There's
that is
always
that.
a solution. That's why we can meet today. And I will talk to Mr. and show this video to Mr. Mason because I've recorded this video. I will also send you the video. I think it is recorded. Recording, yes. I will send you the video of our conversation. Okay? After that, it's going to make a video. I will send it to you. So that
Thank you very much.
you can show it to your friends, which are my brothers and sisters.
Yes, we are going to disseminate this throughout our nation, throughout the archipelago. Yeah,
And I'm
our
going,
friends.
yes, and I'm going to have the Marharlika nation as my brothers and sisters.
Yes, we are also your brothers. You
And
are also my brother.
I'm going to introduce the big chief, Geronimo, Mr. Brian S. Mason. You know, I call him Geronimo. He's like American Indian. His
African
mother,
Indian.
his mother is Indian. He's American Indian. He's half and half, but he is a fantastic gentleman. And I think he's going to love it.
We will be loving each other.
Yes, I will send him the video too. So I'm sure your time is up. However, Mr. Gonzalez, we can redo this meeting anytime.
Yes.
Okay, because from now on, I will be able to discuss strategy,
Thank you.
how to go about the strategy. I'm going to do a lot of thinking. Then I will discuss sudden strategy, many ways, right? Also, I would like to discuss Marine Foundation bringing Japanese technology to the Marharlika nation, especially the maritime technology.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then I
For
will,
serving
yes,
us,
this will do
us
for
know.
sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
we will.
you're welcome. And then I will, I will make a report on what of today's meeting and how we can proceed next. But we have to do it soon.
Appreciate.
We have to do it soon. It cannot wait, you know, years and years. It has to be now,
Yeah, we have to do it rapidly.
rapidly.
Same
Rapidly.
time.
Now is the time.
Now is the time.
Now is
Right.
the time. So I just want to extend my gratefulness to your nation.
Thank
Also
you.
to all the Marharlika people, I want to say now you have a strong brother, a warrior.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
You have a
you.
warrior. You have a ally working with you now.
Yes. As if we did not hear that for so many years already. Now that you have come, you have revived us.
Right. We are going to make it something phenomenal. People will not, you know, they still don't know the Philippine is not the real thing. Now they will discover the real Philippine, which is the Marharlika nation.
That is right.
They
That
gonna,
is just did in the
Right.
Philippines that not recognized, but now it comes to the surface because the time is now is the time to
Now is the,
shine.
now is the time. Now is the time. Well, Mr. Gonzalez, I think I took a lot of your time. So
No problem. We are so very thankful of
thank
that
you.
time
It is
by
my it is my great honor, and it is my great pleasure. And I will introduce you to the DWB Bank, DWB, which is the World Development Bank of Mr. Brian S. Mason. Okay, from the DWB Canada, which is registered on native land of British Columbia, right? Then the Marine Foundation is also going to be registered on native land in British Columbia, but we're also going to register at the Marharlika State Nation, not in the Philippines,
yes,
in the Marharlika
precisely.
Nation.
That's right.
That would be our trade post, foreign land,
Yeah.
sovereign land.
This is the glad tidings from the east,
Right,
foreign land,
that's it.
your brother,
Yes,
in a faraway country.
right.
So we, now your long lost brothers.
That's it. I am back. It is true
That
because my heart
matters.
is there. My heart is there. So I am connected, you see. We are connected by the heart. It's the same as blood. Blood is the heart. The heart is blood.
Yes.
Right. So I want to say thank you. And I want to wish you a very, I want,
And so for your time, and it's a wonderful and good times that we have, and
right.
we are looking forward for the next meeting,
Yes.
productive,
Productive
that
together.
both of us will enjoy and have uh, another time to talk each other again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And have a beautiful day. Enjoy the evening dinner. Enjoy the breeze.
We will really enjoy. This is our day. We have a day that God given us, and it is a wonderful day.
Thank
with
you so much.
For your family, your tribe, and
My wife.
all people connected.
Thank you so much.
And our regards to the manager of what you will introduce to us, and we will appreciate very much those good intentions
Yes.
to be done. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. Please spend a lovely day. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will send you the video. Hi. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.